Today on Chaotica, I am doing a video on the Novylen Dynamap. So, here's the Chaotica. You have seen little Haunter there. You have seen the Arbok. You have seen the Charizard. You have seen Lapon Steve. You have seen Seaside, the little town here. This is where I did my letter maps. This is the Rubik's Cube. This is my neighbor. We did the tour of my neighbor before. And this is the Mesa, Outline Mesa area. This is the future planning for expansion. And here's new neighbors. I have not seen these builds. So somebody's out there building. We could go visit them. There is a small village here that's not mine. This is El Spitter's home. I don't know, the farms there. I don't know. Somebody has a monument that they have cleaned out and turned into a grinder. I don't know whose that is. My neighbor is the one that built this highway here. Don't know where that goes. I'm pretty sure there's another base out there somewhere. Here's some sort of base. There's a little forest right there. I've never been to that forest. Let's see what's up north of me. There's this gold cube. Don't know what that is. This is, I'm pretty sure this is Cute's home. There's a person by the name of Cute who every time they change their name. They go by so many different names. Who knows? Cute is an interesting person, and it's not C-U-T-E, it's K-U-T-E for cute. Here's some sort of cherry forest. Now, Novylen is, it's 15 years old. It came out in 2010. There are new chunks. Whenever they can, they allow new chunks to be spawned in. But there's some very old things as well. Who knows who built this stuff? Who knows what this stuff is like? Look at these. What's going on over here? I like it. I like those glass cubes. I might want to make a whole herd of those. So just going out into the world, you can see so many neat builds that people have made. Like here, this is map art. Let's see who's on. There's two people on, but they're underground. If it's faded out like this, they're underground. You can see it flat, or you can see it on the surface, like diagonal like this. There's a pirate ship. I don't know who, that's some Viking style. Here, that's a neat, I wish I had a hotel like that in Chaotica. That's a nice looking hotel. Let's go south. Oh, look at that train going across a mesa. I should build a highway through here. Look, there's a dome. This looks like an unclaimed path. Here is the train that, well, this is the rail. So there's numerous rail lines. See here? I don't know if you can see this hand moving. These are rail lines that people have built in. And here, a friend of mine made this. I helped him with this. I helped build this structure here. And they built like a sky ship going into a portal. I'll have to go tour that. I have the dial for that. That's something neat. I don't know who did that. Look at this rail line. It goes up and over a mountain instead of just going through it. They went up and over. Okay, so I know if this is the Chaotica, there is a canal system through here. Look at that rail system. And then you can go across this ocean here. Looks like somebody's doing map art there. This is a map art location here. And here is Aiden's port. Aiden's working on this port. This is a demarcation line of territories for Aiden. And then this is, Aiden said that is actually his house here. I think this is actually somebody else's place. I always get confused there. And there's Aiden's ziggurat. You have seen that with his racetracks. Now, here, I know for certain that this is above Trial Shop. So I'm pretty sure Aiden found the first area for Trial Shop. It might be the second area. I don't know. I'll have to do a trial run. And I couldn't name the back rooms because whoever built this little thing here called that portal there the back rooms. So if you dial back rooms, you will go there instead of the empty. I wish I had the name for that, but first come, first serve. Whoever takes the name takes the name. And you can see there's just little things here and there. There's all sorts of open space, but people settle. You never know if somebody's living underneath this mountain or underneath this village. Here, look at these interesting buildings. What's going on here? That's pretty. That is the new forest looking area. But I don't know if that is spawned or if somebody just planted those trees there. So there's a flight room. Here you can see a flight room from outer space. Look, they use creeper heads. That's a fancy one. And forest. There's another flight room, but there's no civilization out here. There's just random flight rooms. Okay, so here, I'm betting somebody lives in this cliff. Because look, here's a little town. It might not be a town, it just looks like a house. And here's a village. Is there any settlement there? Doesn't look like it. So here's open territory. Nobody settled these plains. There's an outpost nobody's claimed. And then you have something like this. Look at this giant thing. Somebody's just building a giant cathedral. Looks like it could be a Warhammer ship. This is incredible. I have not been there, but I bet there is flight runes covering the whole expanse of it. And then more open terrain. Here's somebody that's making a temple out of dirt, which it's actually kind of cool looking. Like, look, even with the basic materials, you can make something awesome. And then back to wild space. Here's somebody settled in the woods. So part of being on Novylen is you got to be okay with neighbors being by. If you can't handle neighbors, it's probably not the server for you because there's going to be somebody near you. The important thing is to get your region protected and set up boundaries and make what you got home. I have little spots all across the map, but my main one is Chaotica. I mostly have the other little spots on the map, like right here. I made a friend yesterday and I helped them build this. You can tell it's kind of basic. They built this. There's a new person who joined and I just went over there to help them settle and give them supplies. That's another thing, is be friendly. Help out new people. You never know. But also from there you can see this mountain. Let's zoom out. So from here, this mountain is giant. And nobody's living up there, I don't think. But somebody's living right here. Don't know them. And open ocean, if you can live in the ocean, there's so much open space. Look at these islands out here. Nobody's living out here. Here's something. Look at this. Somebody's living in a gold house with a flight room. No walls, no fencing. Zombies and creepers can just walk right up. But it's golden. You never know. I don't know. That might be a jungle ruin. But look at this jungle. If you like living in jungle, there's some good territory right there. And here's a rail line. I don't know if that's a rail line. That's just a demarcation line. That's just crazy. That's not a rail line. That's just a perimeter line. I don't know if something like that would classify as claiming territory. Look at that. There is a little mushroom biome somebody made. Let's zoom out. So we are... Look at all this craziness. That's giant. Somebody's building a skyscraper there. Look at that. And here you can see, so this kind of stuff is how you get color details that you normally couldn't do if you do it in these diagonals. If you do it flat, you can only do so much, but if you do it at diagonals, you can use light from the sky to change the colors, I'm guessing. Look at that thing. So as you can see, oh, this is the new spawn. So here is spawn 15. It's moved here. There's a racetrack here, and this place, I don't know whose that mansion is, but people are starting to settle around the new spawn. So if you came in new today, you would arrive here, and you could build in this outlying area that's unclaimed. Or you can go anywhere. That's what I did. I just started traveling until I found something I liked. There's probably even spots on that mushroom island that you could live on. Now, in between spawn and my home, the Chaotica, is this giant massive complex of beautiful structures. This is the Frog Fort, which I toured earlier. You can see here's a PvP arena. Here is a manufacturing. Here is a man-made mountain. Here is the gas pits. This is, I'm pretty sure, this is Persephone Frog's main auto storage system. And look at all the, so while mine has the first starters of the Charmeleon, Persephone Frog has the Bulbasaur. Very interesting. And then I think this is somebody else, because Frog Fort is all copper and stones and stuff. And here's my little build just to be neighborly. I've got a portal in there. I was doing that so I could go visit Persephone Frog. And a little bee here. You never know what you'll find. So this is the basics of the Dynamap of Novylen. And zooming out, you can see world border. Everybody's just chilling inside of this world border. And you never know what you'll find in it. It's not that big. It's not endless like Anarchy servers or other places. You don't need to be. There's nobody hunting you. There's nobody coming to destroy everything you've made. It's all about living near each other, being a community, and being friendly. So if that's up for you, if that's a thing you like, come hit us up on Novylen.